Welcome to What About 505. Today we're diving into the electrifying possibility of a showdown between two of the UFC's most formidable heavyweights, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Join us as we break down their fighting styles, key moments in their careers, and what makes this potential fight one of the most anticipated matchups in UFC history. Jon Jones, also known as Bones, is widely regarded as one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. His records stand at 27 wins, 1 loss, with 10 wins by knockouts and 7 wins by submission. His only career loss was by disqualification for illegal elbows. Jones incorporates an unorthodox Muay Thai and Jeet Kune Do influenced striking game. Standing at 6'4" with an 85-inch reach, Jones effectively uses his long arms to keep opponents at bay and control the distance. His long reach allows him to land strikes while staying out of his opponent's range. He is also dangerous in the clinch, using techniques like spinning elbows and knee strikes to catch his opponents off guard. Jones became the youngest ever UFC champion when he defeated Mauricio Shogun Rua for the light heavyweight title at UFC 128 on March 19, 2011. Jones has faced several tough opponents throughout his career. Although technically he hasn't lost, some have come close to beating him. Vitor Belfort nearly submitted Jones with an armbar in the first round, but Jones managed to escape and eventually won the fight by submission in round 4. He faced Alexander Gustafsson at UFC 165. This fight is often considered Jones's toughest. Gustafsson pushed Jones to his limits in a 5-round war that many thought could have gone either way. Jones retained his title via unanimous decision, but it was a close and grueling battle. He also had tough fights against Daniel Cormier, Thiago Santos, and Dominic Reyes. Jones has been criticized for repeatedly poking his opponents in the eyes. Jones later said in an interview, "I realize that I do it. I realize the criticism that I got from it. It's not on purpose. If you watch my fights, it's me extending my arm in a reactionary way. I do put a hand on people's foreheads to maintain distance." Tom Aspinall from Salford, England. His record is 15 wins, 3 losses, 12 wins by knockout, and 3 wins by submission. Aspinall's fighting style is a dynamic blend of striking and grappling techniques, exceptional striking skills honed through training in boxing and Muay Thai. His striking is characterized by precision and power, allowing him to dominate opponents in the stand-up game. He holds a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which adds a strong grappling and submission element to his arsenal. Despite his imposing stature at 6 feet 5 inches, Aspinall is known for his agility and athleticism. This allows him to move fluidly in the octagon, effectively combining striking and grappling techniques. Aspinall has won all of his UFC fights by stoppage, his only loss coming from a knee injury in the first round against Curtis Blades on July 23, 2022. He was out of action for a year. Since his return, he has won 3 fights, all by knockout in the first round. Aspinall has made it clear that he wants to fight Jon Jones.
I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to be sat front row for Cyril Gane against Sergey Spivak. I'm going to beat the winner, and then I'm going to beat Jon Jones. Finisher in the UFC, man. If I smell blood, that's it, you're done. And let me just say, I just spoke to the boss man, and who wants to see Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones?
Tom, that would absolutely be the fight that the world wants to see. Jon Jones is probably watching this, so send him a message.
Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight, so I'm coming for it.
Jones was out of the octagon for 3 years. He came back on March 4th, 2023, making his heavyweight debut and won the vacant UFC heavyweight championship, defeating Cyril Gane by submission in the first round. Jon Jones has several advantages over Tom Aspinall. His experience in high-stakes fights gives him a strategic edge. He can adapt his strategy mid-fight and exploit his opponent's weaknesses effectively. He has a significant reach advantage over most of his opponents, including Aspinall. He uses his reach effectively to keep opponents at bay and land strikes from a distance. He can maintain a high pace for 5 rounds and has proven to be very tough to finish. Tom Aspinall is known for his explosive striking. He has a high knockout rate, with many of his wins coming in the first round. His speed and power in striking are considered superior to Jones, who is not primarily known for his knockout power. He is often described as more athletic compared to Jones. His agility and movement are exceptional for a heavyweight. Aspinall's striking is more straightforward, but highly effective. He uses his jab to set up powerful right hands, and is adept at cutting off his opponent's angles of escape. This could pose a significant challenge to Jones, who has a more varied but less powerful striking approach. Aspinall is younger and currently riding a wave of momentum with impressive wins. This momentum can be a psychological advantage going into a fight. Jones is currently expected to defend the UFC heavyweight title at UFC 309, set for Madison Square Garden on November, against former champion Stipe Miocic. Jones hinted at possible retirement after this fight. Miocic hasn't fought since his knockout loss on March 27, 2021. I just don't see how this fight makes sense if Jones beats Miocic, won't achieve anything. Miocic is perhaps the best heavyweight in UFC's history, but after a 3 years layoff, we will have to see how much he still has left. Get Stipe out of there. Aspinall told TNT Sports, "Let's be honest, the guy is 43 years old, he's had a 4-year layoff, and his last fight was a knockout loss. Granted, he's an absolute legend in this sport. He's the best heavyweight ever. Like, statistically, he's the best heavyweight ever. But the guy needs to be pulled out of the race.